What's up, broski? In this video today, I want to talk about 6 different people that we typically run into on a day-to-day basis, and I related what their vibe is like with the anime character that I feel the type of personality is best represented by. The first type of person that we typically run into on a day-to-day basis is Inosuke. Now, dude, Inosuke, in the show that he's from, he wears a pig mask, and he's the toughest guy around, according to him. Now, he'll whoop anybody's rear end. He'll usually be victorious. Now he's gonna try and fight, he's gonna try and assert his strength, he's gonna try and use every opportunity to show everybody that he has power, because the one thing scarier than getting hurt again for Inosuke is looking like he can get hurt. This is a very common type of person that you'll see in blue collar fields. A lot of these folks in blue collar jobs, they only care about how strong that you think they are. They don't really care about how strong they are, because, okay, more often than not, they're usually people who have been betrayed or hurt. Now, that's tough, you know. Now, the second type of person, Kobe from One Piece. Now, I'm only talking about Kobe before he left Alvida's ship, okay? Like, the Kobe that we see now, the Kobe that is making so many advancements in the Marines, that's not really the type of person I'm talking about, because I'm trying to focus on, like, oh snap, this is Kobe overcame the issues that comes with his personality type, right? But if we look at Kobe when he was still on the ship, it's a lot easier for, you know, just us to see based on the vibe that he gives off right here in this picture. Now, hopefully I'm looking in the same direction that the picture is on the screen. I got my computer set up over there with my notes. Now, the typical characteristics of Kobe is that, you know, he's a yes man. He's always a 100% there for you type of dude. You ask him, hey, can I borrow $40? He'll be like, of course, let me give you 60. He'll always be the friend that is there for you, because in reality, Kobe and Kobe's type of personality, he just didn't want to get kicked off the ship, literally. I mean, think about his position when he was on Alvida's ship. He was a cabin boy. He got kidnapped because he was abducted by a pirate ship when he was fishing, and so he was just a scared little kid who was doing everything he could to survive. And that's kind of what I've noticed about perceiving 6 different personality types, is that, you know, it doesn't come from a place of hostility a lot of the time. It just comes from, oh snap, I got hurt and I don't want to get hurt again. So for Kobe's case, and for a lot of people's case that just want to be there for you, they don't know how to be naturally accepted. They try to force their way in there. Now, I'll be honest, number 6 is tough to deal with. Number 3 is also pretty tough to deal with. Number 3 is Tahani from The Good Place. So wow, the reason I chose Tahani for the third person is because we're going after somebody who's judgmental. Now, these type of people always make critical judgments of other people. You know the type, you know, for example, they'll see somebody walking their dog and they don't immediately see one of the dog tags on their leash. They say, oh, that person is so irresponsible. I would never walk my dog without a doggy bag. They make assumptions, you know, they make preposterous claims, because their deal is that if they are the first to point something out in somebody, then that means nobody will be able to look close enough at them to notice the same. Yeah, they're just tough to deal with. They're not impossible to deal with. You know, I can still gain their favor pretty good, but I'd rather deal with somebody else, dude. I'd rather deal with the power type of person, because I'm so used to power type of people. Literally, as soon as I realize I'm talking to a power person, I just say XYZ. They're like, ah, ha, 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 you're my new best friend. It's great. For the 4th type of person, it's going to be Rock Lee. Wow, Rock Lee is a pretty cool guy. There's not much wrong with him. He's actually pretty virtuous. He's a real hard worker, and I don't think there's much wrong with being Rock Lee. He's the overachiever. He's not only ambitious, but, you know, it's sometimes motivated out of a place of fear of judgment from the voice that they think they're going to have to face. If you look at the David Goggins interview, I think it's 1288, where he's wearing the gray long sleeve or something like that, he'll talk about his fear of facing God, and God saying to David Goggins, you know, ultramarathon runner and all this, and he was talking to the 300-pound version of David Goggins, saying, this is what your potential could have been, but your life and how you lived it was a disappointment. They're real scared of that. It's a disappointment that they have to work and they have to keep going. And it's pretty cool. You know, it's not the worst thing because those people, they really get after their goals. If you're talking to one of these people, it's pretty easy to get on their side, for real. So join that community. Before I talk about number 5, I take a sip of the chai. So the 5th type of person I want to talk to about, I don't actually have a fictional character to represent them with because it's me. So, you know, people like myself and people who could be called fools, typically what we'll do is we'll throw little jabs at people just to kind of see, hey, what type of person is this? Where can I go with this person? What do they react positively to? And we do that with a lot of jokes. You know, I'll say, I'll prod, and then I'll prod, but I'm trying to get them laugh, to disarm them so they never feel me. You know, it's a defense mechanism. When you learn that being real gets you hurt, being funny becomes survival. We're not scared of being seen as entertaining, but as emotional. I never want to be seen as emotional. I don't care about making a little fool of myself. So that's the 5th type of person. And, you know, for dealing with these types of people, I mean, I think I'm the easiest person to get along with because I like to talk to myself in the mirror. We always share a lot of opinions. So you know, if you're dealing with this type of person, I can really say, you know, good luck, you know, have fun. So the 6th type of person is going to be the pity person. Dude, the pity person always finds a way to be negative. They always find a way to be the victim. They always find a way to classify themselves as the victim. It's because they have some sort of, you know, egotistical desire to win the award for the roughest childhood, for the roughest day, for the toughest luck. They want to win some participation trophy just to validate their existence. And they can only do that by dragging the other crabs down into the bucket. These are truly despicable people. I really don't get along well with them. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes, you know, you're dealing with these type of people as your coworker, and you have to get along with your coworker to pay rent or whatever it may be. So, you know,